Let's use the energy that abounds to dive a little deeper. In a place far away, there was a child who was deathly ill. So a renowned physician, who was also a famous Sufi, was called to his bedside. The physician, Sufi, leant over the child and uttered a few words, and then turned to the parents and said, "Your child is healed." But a visitor who was standing by sneered at the physician Sufi, saying, "How can a few words heal?" Now the Sufi, a serene being, feigned anger and shouted at the visitor, "You understand nothing. You are a fool." And with that, the visitor's face suffused with heat, the heat of anger. So the Sufi, looking at him benignly, said, "If a few words can make you hot and inflamed with anger, why then cannot a few words heal?" And then there's the story of the very famous singer-musician Tansen. He was the most famous singer-musician in all the lands, and he was in the employ of the great King Akbar. Now one day, King Akbar said to Tansen, "Tell me, who is the musician? Who is your master?" And Tansen replied, "I cannot call my master a musician. Perhaps it can be said that he is the music." So King Akbar said, "How can I hear him?" And Tansen said, "It would be no avail to call him to your court. He would not come." So King Akbar said, "Well, can we go to him?" And Tansen replied, "He would not sing before a king." So King Akbar said, "Well, what if I go as your servant?" And Tansen replied, "Then it may be possible." So King Akbar, putting on the garment of a servant, with Tansen riding a horse, they ascended the mountain where the master lived in a cave. As they approached the cave, the master could see that the king was humble. So his voice came forth in song, and it seemed that all around, the birds, the animals, the trees, the grass, also sang along. Both King Akbar and Tansen were transported by the sound, and closing their eyes, they went into a state of peace and bliss. Now the end of the song. When Tansen and King Akbar opened their eyes, there was no sign of the master. He was gone. King Akbar looked askance at Tansen, and Tansen said, "He is gone, because if he remains and people come, anyone who is touched by his song is enslaved, transported as we two were, forever enraptured to follow that music." When they returned to King Akbar's palace, some time later, King Akbar said to Tansen, "What was that song that your master sang?" And so Tansen sang also and played the music of that song. And King Akbar remarked, "The song is the same, but the spirit is not the same." And Tansen replied, "This is because I sing my song for you, the king, but my master sings his song for." What is the end of this story? What is the final word that arises for you in your relationship with life? Every word that comes forth from you, the music that emanates from our being. For why do we sing? For why do we speak? For why do we act? What is the last word? For whom does the master play and sing?
He sings for God.
Yes. And what is God for us? Knowing that there's no thing that is that.
Everything. He's everything.
And what is everything for us? Life. Existence. Life. For why do we sing?